Okay, great. I've got it. It's all working.
Oh man.
Easiest setup of all time took me 12 minutes at least. 12
We're gonna
minutes.
get we're gonna get booted out of our meeting early because we just spent like 20 of it.
Ugh, I forgot about that feature.
I almost left the meeting so that we could just start a new one and then we would
No,
have
that
the
would have
full
been smart.
time.
Haven't
But
you
then I
learned
thought,
you think more efficiently than I do? Just make that decision. That is a good idea.
yeah, but I feel like I have moments where I will be like, why I wish I would have done that. Why didn't I just do the thing that I thought would have been
Yeah.
the best thing to do? And I'll hesitate and won't do it. And then I'll find out it was the best thing I could have done. And so then the next time I'll be like super gung ho about, I'll just
Yeah.
go all in on my
It's
decision.
wrong. It's
And
wrong
it's
every
always
time.
wrong.
Yeah.
Always. And so
I
then I
remember
go,
that
well, cool.
happening. Yeah.
Never doing that again, I guess. And it's just the same, the same loop.
Vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Self-doubt. This is the first time I've talked out loud to someone who isn't related to me. I mean, other than like work, like only work, in a couple of weeks, I feel like at least.
Oh, not
We
even
haven't,
about something specific, just talked at all.
like a friend, like a real
Right,
friend.
right. Aren't you about to leave town again? You just got back and now you're leaving. That's
Yes.
really gross.
Awful. We know that we're not like,
Cut out for that.
no, but we did schedule it that way. So we'll see. It'll be fun. I mean, the only, actually, it is, I'm not like that. I do want to just be at home, but I'm excited about this trip. It's fun. The thing is, normally I'm like starting to gear up for whatever life to start back by this time. It's funny, pause on but not like really pause the recording. Just whenever we were figuring out the recording thing, Joy was messing with her backgrounds. Like, you're going to leave this in, but maybe you will. Hey.
Crazier things have happened.
Truly. You're
Who knows? It's the
we're gonna
holidays.
screenshot this exact angle for you, but because you look like bald, but that's not the thing. It's that your chin is cut off by all the seats. That's funny. Funny to me, not funny to them or anybody else. I mean, if anybody saw it, if y'all could see it, we always say we're gonna post things to the Instagram, and then they have to it's an Easter egg. You have to listen to it, then go watch. Nobody's doing that.
You were in Michigan, right?
Yes,
How was it?
it was good.
Yes, who told you that?
Yes. What of it? Um, was that good? It was good. I do this thing and I think that my mother-in-law listens to this, and that this is fun to leave it in. She can know this. Because I want to tell her. It'd be weird to say it in real life, but I always go downstairs in their house and I feel like I end up hiding out, but it's like I get there, I'm relaxed. They are great with Parker. I can just chill. They have a gym in their house, and I'm just kind of on suddenly on vacation. So I feel like a jerk because I do leave. I don't know.
I mean, I think
They know that. I think they might think that I hate them.
No, I think they know that. I always have to tell myself too, like I'll try to turn off when the grandparents are around because I can, and then I'll start to feel guilty, or even just like if they've been watching the kids a lot, or I don't know, whatever the thing is, and then I have to tell myself like if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't really ever spend time with the kids. Like
Right.
that is kind of their
Time.
The crux of their relationship is that time when we back off or are going out of town or have something to do so that they can be with them. And I have to remind myself of that. Of this is their relationship developing with their grandparents.
Right.
So it's okay that I'm checking out. Yeah.
Totally. Those are the moments I remember with. Yeah. And I guess, those are really important. Okay. How generally was Christmas? Positive?
The girls were both very happy, which is all that matters at the end of the day.
What did Penny get? That was she liked?
Trampoline. That was her big gift, and a dollhouse.
Oh my gosh.
This is the first year we really were like, we're not doing anything for each other. We're just saving that money for
The trips and stuff.
for our Vegas trip. And so I thought that would be a little more sad than it was,
Yeah.
but it was just fine. I mean, I didn't feel, I don't remember who I was talking to about this, but I still feel like I'm kind of grieving my childhood Christmas or something, or just Christmases where I didn't have the responsibilities that I do now. So now instead of getting to feel the magic, we're responsible for creating the magic, which
Yeah.
there is little magic moments within that when you get to see your kids' faces light up with the present. But just like everything else with motherhood, it doesn't last very long. And so I don't know. So kind of Christmas just kind of comes and goes, and I'll just be so stressed leading up to it of getting all the
Yeah.
presents. And, it's either stress about the money, or I also don't really have the creative reserve to come up with
Oh yeah.
cheaper Christmas ideas. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh that.
I don't want to do that. It's a whole nother version of energy that I feel like I don't have. So I feel like leading up to Christmas, I'm always just overwhelmed, and I just want it to be done. I just want to get to Christmas Eve and know that everything's been done.
I get really melancholy on Christmas. I think I have my entire life. I don't, there's just so much emotion around it. And now it's like a whole other thing. And I know exactly what you mean, the creating the magic. This is the first something about this year. I feel more, well, he is really into it. So he's like getting it and Santa and all that. And now, but I mean, okay, I found myself the morning of Christmas. I said, I mean, we got him all, it's all this stuff. It would, it's all, but I still, I have a really gross, this is very vulnerable, like this really gross feeling of and I feel it right in my heart. Like right now, I could cry about it. Like this gross feeling of inadequacy. It comes and goes. I don't always feel like that, but I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing more. I literally at one point said, and I went, "What are you doing?" Like after he opened all his presents, and it was awesome, so great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then and it's like what I'm literally counting the presents like beforehand, which is what are you doing? And then the morning of, I go, oh, it's like talking about some thing that we could get him later. And I was like, stop saying words. Like, what are you doing? It's just that kind of pressure. I don't even know where it comes from, but there's just like a lot of it's brought up a lot of shit about money for me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of been like a thing lately anyway, but it's just really dumb. My obsession with like being enough and the pressure that no one is putting on me. No one ever is doing that but me. No one has any awareness of those things. It's psychotic.
Did you have like crazy big Christmases when you were younger?
Um, I guess it depended. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because we went to like three different my parents and then two sets of grandparents. We would go every single time to at both grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
One did the morning, one did the afternoon. And yeah, it was just like a lot. And I don't mean like the stuff. Yeah, I do. I mean, I guess that is part of it. I guess wanting him to
I
have
don't know.
like that feeling. I don't know. Do
Of
you
it.
feel do you feel that way? Like the inadequacy thing or like feeling like it's you don't do enough or
Um,
something.
100%. But mine is like getting it all, the leading up, the getting it all done. And
Mm-hmm.
mine is also about like, did we get to go do Christmassy things? Because all
Yeah,
the
me too.
tickets cost,
Yes.
everything costs money. And
And so
I will
much money. They
feel,
will crazy.
yeah, I'll feel super guilty that and even Ava still isn't probably aware of some things that we could have gone to do.
Christmassy stuff, feeling bad about it. I wrote down some things.
Oh, nice.
Um, oh yeah, just isolating, like how isolating this time period is or can be, or maybe it's what I let it be, but when we're traveling and I give myself like a day before and after every trip to, freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that?
I don't think I give myself a day to do it, but it definitely comes out over the course of the week following.
Every year. Also, niece and nephew gifts. We draw names for Christmas gifts with like the adults, but we have to get the niece and nephews all gifts. And it's always like different levels of difficulty to shop for certain ones of them. And I'll have ideas, but not do it. And then I always, every time I do okay with the nieces and nephews, every time, I think pretty much every time. Especially if it's someone super close to me, like my sister, which is who I got this year. I find myself that literally Christmas Day going, let me get a gift card, I guess. Like every
Dude,
single time.
there's always the stragglers that get the gift cards. Because what happens is I try to go, I'm going to leave room for something to blow my mind, for an idea
Yeah.
to enter my mind that's going to be the best idea I've ever had, but it's too late.
The shame. Christmas is just shame.
I had so much shame this Christmas because last Christmas we were going to get my mom a gift card for a facial to Profile Skin Studio. And
Shout out.
I think Jeremy texted with Shannon about it. Whatever. We don't physically have it in hand before Christmas Day. So we do the whole like, oh, just writing a card. Here's what we got you. We'll get it to you. Knowing full well, there's enough evidence that she ain't getting it.
Never.
Like, it's not going to happen. If it doesn't happen Christmas Day, it's not happening. And so I was anxious leading up to Christmas Day last year because I was already anxious of like, once Christmas is over, there's just going to be so many other things our money goes to that this isn't the only reason that these things become a priority is because, well, we have to give them a gift on Christmas. So we're going to make it work. So this whole year, I'm angry about it in spurts for this entire year. And I forget it. Like when I remember, of course you forget. And then I would have a moment of remembering like, oh yeah, we still have to get mom her facial for Christmas. And then by this time it's like spring break. And then you're like, I mean, this just feels ridiculous now, but we still need to do it. No, never happens. Never happens. Something else is always coming up. So this Christmas Eve, I'm sitting down to write her a card, and we have already, because we also can't think of something to get his mom. So we don't want my mom to be the only one with like a decent gift. So I'm like, okay, what if we just get both our moms $50 towards a facial? So now we've gone from here's a full facial for Christmas a year ago, and now we've dumbed it down to here's $50. Hope you enjoy paying the difference. I wrote her a card, and the whole card is me. I just tell her the whole thing. I go, I am so angry. I do not want to write you this stupid card and give you this stupid $50, measly $50 for a facial because last year, blah blah blah. I do the whole thing. I wrote really tiny so it covers the whole card. And in the card I said, I'm angry, but mostly it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that I can't get my shit together.
Yeah.
Enough to see something this simple, to see it through. And the worst part, and this is what I said in the letter, I was like, the worst part is I know out of anyone on the planet, I could do it to my mom and she wouldn't even blink about it. She wouldn't think about it. She would probably legitimately just forget about it because she's a mom and that's just what she's used to. Which just made it worse because if anyone in my life the last 3 years deserves a facial, and that's like the minimum, it's her. And so to feel like I can't
deliver.
like my hands are tied in different ways and I just like can't deliver on this simple thing. Like, oh my God, I was so mad. I was so mad. But I knew like how I wrote the letter obviously was serious, but it was funny and she
Mm-hmm.
appreciated it. And I was like, well, at the end of the day, she wouldn't have gotten that letter out of it. So at least
That's
she
the
has the
gift.
letter.
That is so funny and heartbreaking. Um, Partly because I
I
relate to it. It's so that I know exactly what you mean, that feeling. And it is embarrassing, exactly that. Okay, I have something funny about that. That for like, well, like Eric's dad and stepmom Cindy are like really great at, well, giving gifts. I mean, now they just ask like, or they just do something nice, like really nice, usually for us, and they're great in that way. I used to like I
Congratulations.
came in. Thank you. I came in to this relationship really, what would you say, coming in hot? I came in hot with the gifts, like knocking it out of the park every time. Every single person had something really thoughtful and like
Dang.
hard to find or interesting. And after like 3 years, then it starts getting a little less cool. Oh, it's like a candle, some pottery my sister-in-law made, whatever, which is really cool, by the way, Brittany, if you ever listen to this, but still like smaller things. And then it got to be like pictures and envelopes for like 4 years straight. And several of some of I think once or twice I did send the gift actually, but and I still have latent guilt from those things now, right now. That's like 6 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. And Tatum, my sister Tatum, she I don't know if you know, she she oh, she was my per. I drove her, and I do the drawing. I picked her. I go, you know what? I want to get Tatum this year. I'm the one that picks the people.
Mm-mm.
Picked her. Day of, go, son of a bitch. But I knew what I wanted to do the whole time. So then I go, well, maybe I can just do it. Like I'm just going to try to do it. I had, on the actually on let's see, what were we on? My bachelorette party. We stopped at this like I don't know what he abandoned building or something, and there were like pieces of barn wood on the ground, and I picked some up, and I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
She loves folk art, like Howard Finster, really neat, like but very sort of childlike. And I've always in our song when I was little and still is "I love you always forever," and I wanted to write that like in Howard Finster style on this wood, and for some reason that feels impossible. So instead, I got out this like paint gesso board. It's like or just I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's a canvas basically, and uh, started painting on it, and actually got further on it than I've gotten on anything by hand in like 10 years in like 15 minutes. So I'm not proud of it. So I wrote her the card, gave her the thing, like, and she didn't say anything to me, and which I know for her means she hates me. She hates me. And I feel like I don't want to talk about, she's coming on the podcast next. I don't want to talk about this. I shouldn't talk about this. I don't know if
But
I can stop myself
right.
talking about this. And I feel like her response is going to crush me or not.
What are
Or,
so you are? Did you tell her I'm painting you something? I haven't finished it yet, or did you
yeah. And then I
show her
showed her a
the?
picture. I did show her a picture of the half finished thing because it is far enough along that you can kind of see
Yeah.
it. But I do know enough because I'm a designer, not to brag, that if you show people things before they're finished, that they don't see what you see in your head. So I don't know that she really
Right.
got the full effect of what I was
Right.
thinking. She was a little skeptical of my completing it, I could tell, and that stung a little bit, but that's fine.
Oh God. Let's
She
just say
maybe
you.
asked twice if I was going to finish it.
What if
Are you?
you? What are you really? Oh,
Are you going to
that's the
finish
real.
it?
That'll be the real gift. Just the finishing it. You should just say you should try to finish it before we have her on, and you can give it to her on the podcast.
Oh,
Too much accountability.
no, that's good. I'll
Do you
try.
like deadlines or do you hate? Do they give you anxiety?
Uh, I don't mind them. I Yes, they give me tons of anxiety. Meeting them is an anomaly for sure. um, but I do well with like a big project that I have to get like a bunch of stuff. It's weird. There's really no logic that makes sense. Because like whenever we have like a big giant thing that has like a million pieces to it, and I know it
Mhm.
has to be done, then I meet that deadline. I'll get
Yeah,
all of those things done. So I don't know what
the pattern is, or what the, yeah, I
I
feel
do.
like working
It's
at
gotten a lot better for sure.
working at Camel, it's been interesting just finding out what things work and don't work for how my brain works, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like I
Like
went and got a calendar. Like I cannot do a calendar on a phone. I don't
it's
care what
hard.
kind it
Yeah.
is. I need to physically see it. I need to physically write the things down. It's got to be
Hmm.
tangible. Otherwise I feel like, I don't know, like it might slip my mind because
It
it's not
does.
tangible.
Yeah, I have
I
to
don't
write
know.
things down on a regular one too. Um, uh, the speaking of, so like you did the 12 days of camel, which is really a beast to undertake, and you did like a video every day. If you
It's
if you keep this part in, then just Joy recorded a video, a puppet show every day for this thing that I've done every year, and has been like the hard. I mean, I don't want to say the bane of my existence, but it's been pretty like awful. Because I would wait till the last minute, of course. But the point is, you did a really good job. Did that ruin your Christmas?
no, but it was, I mean, it was totally worth it for the fun and that Ava and I had together doing it. Because
Yeah.
on our last episode with Jenny, I was talking about losing some of the silliness. And so it felt like it brought a little bit of that back. Because we had a project we were working on together, and the whole point of it was to be silly. And we really didn't have a plan. And I got to practice just like Ava's my safe space for improv and being ridiculous anyway. So I just tried to not get in my own way. And I wasn't worried. I knew that between her and I, we could make something that would be worth making. I just wasn't sure what it would end up being or how we would get there, really. And so I think I was surprised at um, how easy she made it and how much she added to the dynamic. Like, even having a 10-year-old's hand in a puppet is different than an adult's hand in a puppet. The puppet's going to
Hmm.
move, like the way she would move puppet was like so jerky
It
and
was funny. That part was
not
funny.
smooth. And when I wasn't really, I wasn't watching her when we're doing it. I'm just in it I'm making sure my puppet's in frame and that we're in frame, so I'm not focused on the details of what she's doing. But when I would go back to edit it, um, I would see she did something that would make me laugh, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I didn't even know she did that. It worked. It worked." But it's really funny because you can kind of follow our some of our real relationship dynamics were coming out within the puppets. So like, by day like 8, 9,
Yeah.
she was over it, and so was I. And so the last like three were hard to get done and weren't as fun as the first ones. But it's just because 12 days is like, it doesn't sound like much.
No, it's a lot.
But when you've done 4 and then 5 and you're going, I'm not even halfway through yet.
Hmm.
That's the worst part is you go, oh, I've got some good stuff. We're on a roll. All right, let's wrap it up soon. Oh, wait, I've got 7 to 8 more times I have to do this.
Like complete pieces of work every single
Yes.
day, which,
And doing them like getting them done like the day before. I mean, everything we were
right,
doing was so down to the wire.
right.
But I think that's part of the reason that I feel like I end up creating better in environments where I do not have room to question myself too
Mm.
much or to plan, or when it's just like, what do I have? What do I have around me that I can use?
Mm.
It's when I've got too many somethings that I tend to get paralyzed and then
Trip
shut down.
yourself up.
too many choices, and then I'm like, well, one of these is the best choice. Which one is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can have a fruit or a vegetable.
That alone is worth the whole recording, I'd say. That's going to
She's
resonate
standing
for
and she's just
sure.
miming this to me at the top of the stairs.
But she asks. That's nice. She just go get it.
Honestly, I would probably rather that. I just don't want to be asked any questions.
Yeah.
I did. Fruit or vegetable. Also, you already know that. Yes, just if you want to. No, you already had a snack after dinner. If you just feel like you're going to die if you don't eat something, then drink some water or eat something that is a vegetable or a fruit. Hopefully, you'll make it through the night.
Those are healthy choices. I'm glad to hear you saying that like that, because sometimes I feel like I'm making Parker anorexic. I'm like, he will immediately. Today he couldn't poop when he was at my mom's. When I got there, he was crying, and I think he needed to poop, but he was stressed, and he doesn't like to do that when I'm not there. The booty wipes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna love this one day if he ever gets to hear it. And he said he was stressed. Why did you take so long? Whatever. What was the point? Oh yeah, when he tried to poop, he couldn't, and he was like, "Can you get me some protein?" And what's fucked up about that is that my mom was so obsessed with protein. I think it's like a 70s thing, like where they realized, oh, protein's like source of all energy and blah, blah, blah.
Gotta
Protein,
have the
protein. Gotta have protein. Only protein. Gotta have protein. And
after our Cookie Crisp cereal.
Oh, my mom did not allow that stuff. She called it Reed, and she got mad about cereal like that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a cereal at that time, and she would call it Teenage Mutant Ninja Shit.